What's going on, dudes and dudettes? I'm back with another video. Today's topic: what goes in my mouth during prep? Get your minds out of the gutter. It is my diet. Macronutrients, what fuels my body, both for my workouts, but also what causes me to lose weight. It is a very tricky balance that is not easy to find. Anyone who has tried to lose weight in any capacity, not just stepping on stage, it's tough. As we get older, metabolism slows down. Yeah, let's dive into it. Before we get into me personally, just a little bit of the diet that I follow. What are macronutrients? Just a little bit of education. Bear with me. If you know this already, you can skip ahead, but for the most part, I want to make sure that I'm not assuming anything. So macronutrients, carbs, fats, protein. Those are the building blocks. We can get into micronutrients, we can get into sodium, we can get into all of that, but at the end of the day, macros are the bulk of what drives weight gain, weight loss. Right now, I am doing a if it fits your macros type diet. I can get away with that earlier in prep, but what I'm doing right now is maintaining a decent amount of protein, relatively high carbs, fats, moderate. We can get into the gram breakdown later in this video, but generally speaking, if you're trying to lose weight, you want your macros, your daily calories, to be less than what you burn. Sounds super easy, and probably everybody's like, yeah, we know that, dumbass, like, get to the good stuff. But these are building blocks. This is foundational information. You can find out your resting basal metabolic rate. At the end of the day, it is trial and error. It is finding out what works for you. Some people respond well to high carb, high fat. If you want to build muscle, you're gonna have to eat enough protein. If you want to maintain muscle during a cut, you wanna make sure you're getting enough protein to hold on to as much muscle and not diet too aggressively, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But there's multiple different types of diets. There's carnivore, there's keto, there's all of these different options out there. One is not better than another. Calories in, calories out. You want to lose weight, be in a deficit. You want to gain weight, be in a surplus. Right now, I'm aiming for 1.5 pounds per week. There's 3,500 calories in a pound. So if you want to lose a pound a week, you want to be in a 3,500 calorie deficit for the week. So what does that work out to? It's about 500 calorie deficit per day. I'm doing my math correctly. You can be more aggressive, you can be less aggressive. Depending on where you're starting, you might want to take a more aggressive approach. You can stand to do that. Right now, I have extra weight. I'm okay with a little bit more aggressive weight loss in the beginning. As prep gets deeper, it gets harder and harder. You get into the single-digit body percent fats. It's tough. But right now, like I said, if it fits your macros, intuitive dieting, understanding, listening to my body. Really, I recommend tracking your macros. I track my macros every day. Even when I'm not in prep, I think it helps just to get a good sense of what does 6 ounces of chicken look like? How many carbs are in a serving of pretzels? How many fat grams are in avocado? You need to be able to build those foundational tools, and then you can start to deviate, or you get more comfortable saying, hey, you know what, I can eyeball this. But track, because then you can compare that to what you're burning from a calorie perspective and hopefully match things up. The other thing I highly, highly, highly recommend, track your weight every single day, take averages. We'll get into that in another video, but it is absolutely necessary. If you are looking for weight loss, you need to account for daily fluctuations. Track your weight every day, take averages. I will be repeating that over and over and over again. I am a big proponent of that. You might disagree with me. You're perfectly free to do that, but that's just my advice. The reason I like the intuitive dieting during prep is it allows me to adjust based on how my body is feeling. Just last week, it was a heavy leg day. I just felt it from head to toe, the exhaustion, the mental fatigue, everything. I said, you know what, I'm at my macros, but I need a little bit more carbs. I know that for myself. As you do this more, you start to pick up on those things. That's why I like the if it fits your macros, you're not stuck to a meal plan. I did that my first go around. I hated it. Absolutely hated it. In the moment, I didn't know anything else. I didn't have anything to compare it to. I was like, I guess this is what I do. Looking back on it, I couldn't tell you what my macros were. I just knew breakfast is this, snack is this, lunch, dinner. Someone else was writing my diet plans for me. You need to build the foundation. As prep gets deeper, my macros will change, carbs will go up, they'll go down, protein will go up and probably stay up as I get leaner. I'll keep you guys updated every step of the way. If you want a deep dive into my raw thoughts on different diet plans, I will almost assuredly offend everybody if I do that, but I'm happy to do that. Just let me know down in the comments if that's something you want me to touch on, the pros, the cons. But right now, what I'm doing, flexible dieting, knowing what my macros are. So where have I been historically with my macros during prep? Like I said, my first show, I couldn't tell you. As the years have progressed, I would say that I typically start my prep a little bit under 2,000 calories a day. The macro breakdown is different. I've tried different things, low carb to begin, high carb, but usually 1,800 is where I start my prep. I've seen very good weight loss so far, just being 2 weeks into prep, and I'm at 2,000 calories a day. I'm ecstatic that that is my starting macro breakdown. Why? Because it means I have more muscle, I need more fuel, and muscle burns more than fat. So having more muscle on my frame means I can eat more and still lose weight. 200 calorie difference might not seem like a lot, but that's significant. That is, again, verifiable proof in my mind that I've added lean muscle on over the last 3 years, come October. So yeah, right now, 2,000 calories a day. Protein is around 150, so about 1 gram per pound of lean body weight. On the lower side of that, I think my lean body weight will probably be around 155, 160. But again, right now I have the ability to eat less protein because I have extra fat stores. I'm not worried about losing muscle just yet. Carbs are around 200 and my fats are around 60, give or take, but approximately that's where they are. As body fat comes down, protein will go up. Protein will probably cap out around 170, maybe even 180 a day. That means carbs go down. Fats go down. I never put my fats lower than 50 grams a day. You need that for day-to-day functioning. You start talking about low-fat diets, you're in dangerous territory. So low carb has its pros and cons. Low fat, I've never heard of it. If you have, I would shy away from it. What have my energy levels been like over the last 2 weeks? I feel fine. Workouts haven't really taken a hit. As my macros start coming down, my calories come down, I get more aggressive with the weight loss, I guarantee my energy will take a hit, but that comes with the territory. We'll get into the workout side of things probably in the next video. My split, my training regimen, how that's going to change throughout prep. But again, these first few videos are just sort of laying the foundation, what to expect, so I have a metric to come back to, and you guys following along also can compare, hey, week 18 versus, or 18 weeks out versus 1 week out, how do I look? How do I sound? How do I feel? And I want to document that for myself as well. Like I said, I've been doing this for 10 years. I've learned a lot from a macronutrient dieting perspective over that period of time. And I've already touched on it, but I want to reiterate. Track your macros, weigh yourself, and listen to your body. There is no one-size-fits-all diet. What works for somebody might not work for the other. You could have health conditions. These are things that it really is an experiment to find out what is the maximum calories you can eat and still lose weight. Is it at a pace you're comfortable with? So you need to actually put a plan into practice. Thankfully, I've been able to not only do this during prep, but also in the off season. It helps from a rebound perspective after prep. It helps from a maintenance perspective, making sure that I'm still eating sufficiently to grow in the off season. And it gives me a sense of, all right, if I need to have a cut in the off season, what's a good number? What's a good macro breakdown? Knowing that I can diet on 2,000 calories right now makes me feel even more comfortable going into next off season, that look, push comes to shove, I spike up to 190, 195 pounds and I absolutely hate how I look. I can take a 2 to 3 week mini cut, drop my calories down to 2,000 and drop weight relatively quickly. Makes the off season a lot more manageable too. So that's it for this video. The last one was exceptionally long. I don't want them to be that long moving forward. But I'm going to try to keep these between 10 and 12 minutes. So if you enjoyed the video, like the video, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next week.